Hey everyone, Major Injuries here with another Fallout 4 factory build for you. I'm here at Red Rocket in Nuka World, and I am suffering from the flu right now, but the show must go on, so bear with me. Let's get started. Okay, if you see my other video on my weapons build factory, this is my original weapons factory. I've actually gutted it and started a new factory build here. The weapons build really wasn't necessary because I was constantly finding weapons all over the place, so I really didn't need a factory for it. But it was a fun build. I thought this might be a little more practical. We'll see. Let's take a quick look here. Alright, first we've got our lights. Let's get our lights turned on. Alright, cool. And then what we're going to be doing here is making leather armor, metal armor, combat armor, or synth armor. I have builders here for each one of those. This is the leather builder. This is the metal, combat, and synth builders. And all I need to do is simply select which one. I don't even need to program it. I don't even have this hooked up. I originally used this to program each one of those, and then I disconnected it. I don't need to do anything but just select which one I want, put the materials in, and we're good to go. So I'll take a quick run through before we get started, and I'll show you what's going to happen here. The lifts are going to bring the materials up here, and this is if you've seen my other videos, you know I use a mod called it's from the Manufacturing Extended mod. And this is called the Recycler, and it's going to break down all my junk into components, and that way I don't have to deal with fans or other material junk items getting stuck. It just breaks everything down by the component. It'll sort. Every one of these sorters sorts a single component. You can see here I've got it set up for all these different components. Anything that goes through here and doesn't get sorted is going to drop down here, and I'll show you that's going to go to a separate storage for all my scrap stuff. And you can see all these hoppers here are going to then the components are going to be dropped into there. And then when I hit the switch downstairs, it will, for example, if I pick leather, it's going to open up these 4 component hoppers, and these materials will be fed across here, and then this diverter is going to turn on and direct all the material to go to the leather builder. And I've got a diverter for each one, except for, of course, the last one doesn't need a converter. So yeah, pretty simple. Enough said on this. Let's get it started and let's see it in action. I've got everything here I need. You'll notice I did put some junk in here just so we can watch how that works. Let's see. We've got, let's see, what was it? Oh yeah, these aluminum canisters have oil, which should not be needed, so the oil should come out. And also with a microscope, there's some things. Oh, I didn't think this was supposed to be in there actually, but that's okay. We'll run it through anyway. Actually, no, we probably won't actually. These are things I picked up. Yeah, these are things I picked up along the way. So we're going to go take this. I forgot to empty my junk out before I got started. That's all right. There we go. That's the main items we need for this build. Let's go ahead and fire up the power for the factory. All right. And today we're going to build the combat armor. So all I have to do is hit the combat armor. There we go. And you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, everything firing up here. All these opened up. This is the 3 hoppers I'm going to need for that. And with the controller, I realized visuals here are pretty janky. Alright, you can see there's nothing but components coming out of here now. It's going to break anything down that's a junk into components, and all the standard components will just pass through normally. You've seen this before. I've used it quite a few times. Nothing really super complicated. And you can see these are going into this hopper. I've got it set up for like 1 second intervals here, so it should process pretty quickly. This is going to take a little bit to get all these. We're making 5 combat armors today, so there's going to be a lot of material. And you can see this diverter is now activated by that switch downstairs. Each switch connects to a specific diverter and also connects to a specific hopper. So now all these are going to be fed down here for our combat armor. So now we're getting all the other materials as well. Ballistic fibers, so pretty simple. And this is our combat one, combat builder here. Oh, there you go. You can see the materials starting to drop down here. We're getting our adhesive in here. It's going pretty quick. I like setting it up at a fast interval like this. Now stay tuned. I've got a couple nice tips for you at the end here. I did run into a few difficulties, and I think if I share these tips with you, if you decide to make this build yourself, or any build, these tips aren't just specific to this build. But for factory building, I think these tips will help. So stick around for that. Hopefully you'll stick around. So far pretty simple. Each one of these builds obviously is going to drop onto this conveyor and bring around to this conveyor storage, and then any junk that doesn't get sorted, or any components that get broken down into components and then not used, will drop. This is that hopper I was pointing out upstairs earlier. So anything not being used is just going to come down here and be stored in this conveyor storage here, which I can always pull it out and use it for something else. So yeah, so this is pretty cool. I would like to, and I may do this, I may set this up so that each one of these actually builds a separate piece for whichever item I select. So then I would have to set up the computer here to actually program which one I want to build. And that way, if I built this one, I could also build the legs, and I could build the arms. I think there's a left leg, a right leg, and then the arms are a separate build, something like that. So it would take 4 machines. So I may do that. I don't know. This was pretty interesting just to try to get this to work. And I'd say this is a medium difficulty build here. There we go. So we got our first one, I guess. Yeah, look at that. So it builds fairly quickly. I like it. And I'm building these combat ones because I've got some security personnel I'd like to armor up a little bit better. So alright, so that is the build. Pretty fun build. Nothing complicated. I love the fact that I don't have to program anything. All I have to do is select which one I want to build. And I'll show you exactly how that works here. Once this is all done, am I missing a component? Maybe? Something gets stuck somewhere. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't miscalculate. I spent so much time prepping for this thing ahead of time, so I thought I had everything ready. Let's see, what am I missing? This is combat. So I need 780. Oh, it didn't pick up enough aluminum. I just need 2 more. So there's our oil. So it did do that. I think I miscalculated on the oil canisters. Alright, so here, I grabbed some more aluminum. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. We'll finish it out. But we'll use a couple aluminum cans. Cool. Alright, well, that's finishing up. Let's go to the tips I promised. First of all, in order to wire these pins up that are going to go up to the hoppers, you'll notice you have to wire them direct. In other words, there can't be anything connecting to a shared conduit. So each one of these pins is down there, goes directly up to another pin up here, and then directly up to the hopper. There's nothing else. There's no way to get cross contamination or cross voltage, right? You can see everything is separated. Now, as I was building this, I was having a problem. It was shorting out, and as soon as I pushed switch number 2 here for metal, it was connected to 1, 3, 4, and 5, but port 2 was opening up from here, or the hopper 2 was opening up. And what I found out was, you'll notice I have barn walls here. I had these switches connected to this bare metal wall, and it actually was shorting out. I spent almost an hour trying to troubleshoot this, trying to figure out where the short was, and I disconnected wire after wire after wire. No matter what I did, it was always shorting out. And so out of desperation, I put these barn walls up, hooked everything back together, and sure enough, it started working. So bottom line is, these switches will short out against metal. So you don't want to put them on a barn wall or some kind of non-conductive material. Weird, I know. I honestly was beside myself trying to figure out why this is working. Like I said, I spent an hour. There we go. Number 5. Yep. Sorry about that. So, tip number 2, and I've mentioned this in other videos, I had to disconnect all of these builders and then connect one up. Like, for example, I had this one connected to the main power, and then I had this connected to the main power up here, and then I could see that builder, and I said I want that to be leather. And after I programmed it, then I disconnected that wire and I connected the next one. Only one at a time can be connected. Once I got all of them programmed, then before you do anything else, and you want to do this with the power off, the power has to be on. But after you get the last one programmed, you want to go ahead and disconnect this wire, because it will continue to send the program out to all the other builders. If you leave this on the circuit, it will talk to all of them and program them all to be exactly what the last item is you program. So in other words, synth, I think, was the last one, and all these became synth. So it's important that you get them programmed one at a time, and before you hook them back up, disconnect this cable, then you can hook all your machines back up to power again. Alright? 2 tips that are going to save you a bunch of time. Alright, that's it. Nothing super complicated. It was a lot of fun. It was an interesting build. Let me know also, if you wouldn't mind, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. Are you guys interested in more factory builds? Would you like to see some settlement builds? Would you like to see Vault 88 builds? Or would you guys just like to see gameplay? I mean, what is it that you really would like to see me do next? Happy to do whatever is going to make you guys happy here. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.